I'm still catching up on all the films that I missed during my week off from YouTube, so let's do this. The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Now, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 is the concluding chapter of the Hunger Games franchise. And I know that some of you might be thinking, well, where are your reviews on the previous installments? And yes, I didn't have the time. I'm sorry, but this time around I didn't have the time. And you know what sucks even more? I actually did review them last year on my old channel. But in a very random move, my old colleague decided to delete the channel completely, so these reviews are gone. I'm sorry to tell you that. But you know what? I will go over them really quickly and then get to the latest installment. Let's do this. The very first one I liked. I thought it was okay. I loved the acting. I even loved the plot and themes, but I thought the execution was kind of messy. The second one, in my opinion, was a sequel that improved on every level. The characters were deeper, the stakes were higher, and I virtually loved everything about the second film. And the third one, to me, was the biggest disappointment yet, because it seemed like a trailer for Mockingjay Part 2, and I hated when they do that. They took the final book of the Hunger Games saga and turned it into 2 movies. Why? Well, because of money. Seriously. That's what Hollywood does these days, and it sucks. They did the same to The Hobbit, and I don't get it either. But now let's get to Mockingjay Part 2. The movie has all the actors returning and actually deals with the concluding battle, Katniss versus Snow, because now she's like, you know, I'm gonna assassinate this guy. So her and a bunch of former victors try to fight their way through a bunch of nasty traps in order to get to Snow and end this bloody conflict once and for all. I have to admit, I read and saw a bunch of reviews regarding this film, and most of them were extremely mediocre, which is why I'm glad to say that this movie surprised me. But is it a perfect movie? No. But let's address the positives first. First of all, the acting. The acting on everyone's part, again, is great. And while the first one was basically a 2-hour-long trailer, this movie gets to the point immediately. I thought the idea to have the entire road to Snow as pretty much a booby trap filled Hunger game was fantastic. Seriously, the traps, oh my god. Some of them were extremely intense. And I also love that the characters are a little bit deeper. I never really liked Peter. I always thought he was a bit of a wuss. But in this movie, they added some depth to his character. Because yeah, spoiler alert for Mockingjay Part 1, Snow messed with his brain and now he's a little bit crazy. He can snap at any minute and just attack his former friends. And you see that he doesn't want to, but it's just a thing with him now. However, it still baffles me why they took him along. I mean, to give the actor more screen time? And while I did enjoy the first half, the second half is actually the half that I enjoyed most, because something happens, and I'm not really gonna enter spoiler territory, but what I will say is that this movie is much more ballsy than I expected it to be. And they also present a very realistic scenario in terms of what happens when you overthrow a dictatorship. Not everything will automatically be great and dandy. No, there will always be power-hungry people. One of the few aspects that I did enjoy about Mockingjay Part 1 was the fact that they presented the rebellion as also morally ambiguous. They made use of propaganda videos. And in this movie, they took that concept and brought it to the next level. There were some scenes that really hit me where I live. But now, let's get to the negatives. First of all, a lot of the characters that you've grown to love are very underutilized in the movie, which is a sad thing, because in the last one, it seemed like they were building up all the characters in order to reach a conclusion. And it's just not the case. This is again Jennifer Lawrence's movie. And while I do love her and while I do like her character, I thought it was kind of sad. For example, Woody Harrelson, again, he does not have a lot of screen time. And me being a hardcore Stanley Tucci fan, and especially in these films, I was a bit let down that he was only in one scene. However, I believe that the entire franchise has one weak link. While most of the actors bring their A game and portray the characters as good as they possibly can, Liam Hemsworth, I don't know, I'm just not a fan of this guy. It seems to me like his character is only in these films to create a love triangle. And especially the movies that focus a little more on him should make this guy important. I should give a shit about this guy, and sadly I'm not. But overall, I did enjoy this movie. There are some moments, like I said, where I was straight up tearing up, and I liked the conclusion, because to me it wasn't all cliche. Which is why The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 gets the silver medal. So The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. What are your thoughts? And how do you like the franchise in general? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.